CECIMO is a leading European machine tool association and also one of the groups that produces EMO. AMT President Doug Woods interviewed CECIMO Director General Filip Geerts to get a real inside look at the show. Let's hear what he had to say.
Hi, I'm Doug Woods, President of AMT, here at EMO with Filip Geerts, who's the Director General from CECIMO. And today's the opening day of EMO, which is always quite a production, and things look fantastic. Can you tell me a little bit about what things are going to be for the day, opening day here at EMO?
It looks indeed very promising. Huh? Of course, we have to wait the number of visitors to be seen, but we can tell you already that all the hotels around 100 kilometers out of Hannover are fully booked, so this looks promising from that side. Nevertheless, okay, the number of square meters sold are again as high as the peak of 2007. We are at 176,000 square meters net sold, so these are hard figures, these are facts and figures which look promising. More than 2,037 exhibitors from 41 different countries. So this can only be that it looks very promising.
That's fantastic. Do those numbers reflect well upon the last time it was in Germany? Are they fairly consistent? Because that was at a time when the market was in a little bit of position. Is it still coming back up to those numbers?
It's, as I told you, in 2007 it was a very good economic year, and now we reached the same number of square meters sold, at least. Yes.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Now, how about since the last time that we were gathered for a show? What are some of the things that people should look for that are new and different at EMO here in 2011, either with the exhibits, the layouts, some of the things that you try to do to make it a little bit different experience for the attendees?
Yeah, first of all, I have to say that EMO exists already since 1951, so it's more than 60 years now. And I have to say that the basic concept didn't change so much. So it's still an exhibition where people show the latest technology, for which EMO always has been the leading exhibition. Huh? So I think it's important that we keep emphasizing that at this exhibition you can see the latest technologies, and it's a very international one. So, and it's a place where people can meet people from all over the world, all kind of stakeholders. Customers, of course, is priority. Nevertheless, I also hear from quite some exhibitors that this is the place where they meet during 1 week all their international agents, which is also, of course, very interesting for them. What's new, I would say that perhaps we change EMO more and more towards an event. So what's also very important is this networking, as I just told you, but also the other kind of conferences that we organize around and during EMO. And for this year, for example, we focus on 3 different important subjects. One is about sustainability, and I'm more precise about environment and energy efficiency. So we have a huge conference on that item. Secondly, we look to the sector of aerospace, which is a very promising one for the moment. More precise about Titanic production. And then thirdly, we focus to one of the major export markets for Europeans, being Russia. It's our third most important export market and one of the 10th biggest markets for consumption of machine tools in the world. So we also have a conference around that. And beside that, there are many other events on where we show the latest technologies and outcome of European funded research and development projects, like, for example, the one in which CECIMO is involved is Intech Micro, where we show the outcome of the studies done with universities, research institutes, and companies.
Okay, now is that when we were at the last EMO together in Milano, there was a discussion about the EU making a big investment into innovation and R&D, and specifically in the manufacturing and machine tool industry. Are those some of the programs and the outputs from those to focus on the micro machining, nanotechnology? Are you starting to see those technologies and R&D show up at the individual companies and with the products that they're producing?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's indeed true that we can see also this EMO is very much focused on, of course, productivity, but also accuracy and sustainability, and also, I think, product supporting services. And we, as CECIMO, as a European association for the machine tool sector, we are strongly fighting, I would say, to get also the authorities at EU level convinced that where we can still make the difference to stay competitive is thanks to have high, advanced, innovative products. So we I think we succeeded in getting more and more attention for this manufacturing sector, and more precise for a machine tool sector even. We have, for example, now recently an initiative that has been launched about key enabling technologies, and this is indeed nanotechnology, microelectronics, photonics, biotechnologies, advanced materials, but also advanced manufacturing systems.
Okay.
And so we are there in it, and we see that in the new framework program for research and development from the European Commission, which will now be called Horizon 2020, there is quite some attention for these key enabling technologies like machine tools are.
That's fantastic. And also, there was a pretty big program being announced. The Europeans have always been very good about sustainability and energy conscious technologies, manufacturing technologies. Is that also one of the things? I noticed a big windmill out in front of one of the buildings, compliments of, I think it might be Gildemeister.
Yeah,
clearly that's still one of the priorities here, and probably something you can see in a lot of the different exhibits.
Yeah, it's one of the booming, promising markets, of course, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, energy sector. But nevertheless, also the most, again, the traditional ones like the automobile sector is very promising at this moment. So we see that a lot of orders are coming from that sector. And then, of course, you have, the new sectors like energy, but also some rather niche markets, like we still see that the medical sector is quite promising.
In general, besides those specific sectors, how is the machine tool industry doing in Europe? I see a lot of things, that seem to be very promising, but you're right in the middle of it. Has the comeback from the recession of 2009 taken firm hold and continuing in a positive direction?
It still is continuing. We can see when we look to the figures that from the last quarter of 2009, we see an increase in orders. And this, of course, has been reflected with a certain delay in production. So in 2011, we are more or less sure that we can say that 22% in average for Europe increase in production, so in sales. And we expect, when we do these forecasts, that this will continue for 2012. Of course, I think at this moment now, even we are now here at EMO, we are a little bit at a crossroad between, of course, you have this momentum of the upturn again of the economy. Nevertheless, worldwide there is quite some uncertainty, and also we can see that the confidence indexes are rather going a bit to the worst side again. And as you know, the manufacturing supply chain, their machine tools are very early in that stage, so we are a very cyclical sector. We are very, very sensitive to any change in this investment cycles and the general economic situation. Nevertheless, as I can say, we don't see it now reflected in orders or in production. And I think this is also major coming because this uncertainty and everything is now linked to the sovereign debts, because the governments had to invest a lot to survive the crisis, to help us to survive the crisis, that at this moment they have problems in lending again money. On the other hand, if they will not do it, now again there is a risk that we fall again in a recession. So it's more a problem at the governmental level. When we see to the investments coming from the industry, what people from the companies, from the production do want to invest, there is still money. We also have, of course, the big advantage that the loans, the interest rates have never been at such a low level. And of course, you also still have the upcoming markets where we can see it's still booming. So also when we say this increase, it's mainly due to, of course, to the export markets.
Okay. And typically the German sector has always done very well, but what do you see in some of the other surprising countries that are really starting to get in from the European Union standpoint, really starting to show more? I understand, Turkey investment growth is really improving. Are there other areas that are becoming kind of the interesting growth spots in the European market? In the European market?
Yeah, Turkey is one of our member associations, countries. They are doing extremely well, yes. Otherwise, I would say, it's more balanced. Of course, Germany stays the most important producer and consumption of machine tools in Europe. We can see that the figures are that 44% of machine tool production in Europe is made in Germany, followed by Italy and Switzerland. And then you can see now that also countries like Austria are picking up, Austria and Turkey. And then, of course, you have the UK and France, who are now a little bit lagging behind.
So it's a very good market. And how about when you start taking a look going forward and we start talking about maybe EMO 2013 and 2015 and beyond, when you look overall at exhibits and trade shows, fairs, exhibitions, what do you see as being possibly the change in format or the direction of them?
Yeah, so we exist already more than 60 years. It's always been a quite successful formula. We didn't change so much over all those decennia. So I think we can see this once again now. Economy is picking up, people want to be there. They want to show the latest technology, they want to be at an international exhibition, and they want to do this networking during 1 week. It's also for us more and more an event, and it's a momentum in the year or the 2-year cycle, where everybody now is really also putting attention towards our sector. Mm-hmm. So for us, of course, the most important thing at EMO is to sell, it's doing business. Nevertheless, the networking aspect is important. Also, these events where you can learn, exchange ideas. And for me, then, as CECIMO, it's a good momentum to improve the image of the sector. We have also events around students to create awareness about the importance and the relevance of our sector, and the contribution to the big societal challenges with which we are confronted and things like that. So it's very important that we keep these kind of exhibitions, and I'm also strongly convinced that the industry is willing to continue investing in those exhibitions. Yeah.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. When you walk around the show and take a look at the size of some of the booths that you have here and the level of investment that they've made to be able to show their technologies, it doesn't seem like people are by any means changing or pulling back. It seems from the last time I remember, actually many of the booths larger, much more intricate, a lot more technology, unique equipment and applications. So it seems like people really are pushing forward here, trying to really make this their major promotional event here in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also perhaps because we have now so many new tools from IT and telecom, which enable us to, during the course of the year, to communicate towards our customers and other stakeholders, that still we need once in a time a place where you can really show the machines. And we can see that those new social media are not really replacing the fact that you can exhibit physically a machine. It's really very complementary. The more we have this other kind of media, the more we also need ones to offer the platform where people can touch and see the machines.
Right. No, I agree completely. And having the opportunity to actually touch the equipment, to actually talk to someone about it, and as you suggested, most importantly, to be able to network, those are the great opportunities. So, and we certainly appreciate you taking time out of a very busy schedule to network and talk to us. So,
thank you very much.
Appreciate having you here, and good luck with the rest of the show.
Yeah, and it's always a pleasure for me to come to IMTS too.
Great. Well, we look forward to hosting you next year. So,
thank you.
Thank you once again, Filip, and appreciate seeing you. And this is Doug Woods, live from EMO. Have a great day.
The IMTS exhibitor workshops are about to hit the road, bringing you all the essential tools and contacts to help you put your IMTS investment to work. The exhibitor workshop is the absolute best way to make sure you're prepared for IMTS, and it's free. The workshop is coming to 6 different cities throughout January and February 2012, so choose your city and register today. The workshop is always a great way to guarantee a successful IMTS for your company. So make your plans now to attend one of the workshops by registering online today and put your IMTS investment to work.